Even to this day, higher vampire society remains shrouded in mysteries. We've gotten glimpses into how they operate, yet many questions remain unanswered. One of those questions being, what are the vampire tribes? And why did they separate from each other? But first we have to go back in time, about 1,500 years, to the conjunction of the spheres. During the conjunction, portals opened up from all different kinds of worlds, leading to both humans and monsters to arrive on the continent. Vampires also arrived on the continent at this time. However, in comparison to some other groups, there was only a small group of higher vampires who made their way through the portal. The portal they went through placed them in what would become Toudet about 1,000 years later. This new world was strange to them, foreign and unknown. They felt uneasy. Most of the vampires had no desire to stay. However, they had no way of going back once the portal closed. They were stranded and had to figure out what to do next. It seems like at this point the vampires were already kind of split between three types: Gorosham, Amaran and Toudet. In the cave of the unseen elder in Toudet, we can find pots with the insignias of the tribes depicted on them, possibly hinting at the fact that they might have taken those from their own world, seeing how much of the contents is vampire-related jewelry and coins. Out of all these tribes, we know by far the most of Gorosham, as it are the vampires belonging to this tribe that stayed in the parts of the continent that we are familiar with. Once long ago, they had a strong presence in Toudet, even going as far as constructing buildings and castles like tesham mutna. To this day, Toudet is of great importance to the higher vampires of the Gorosham tribe, even with one of their unseen elders guarding the former portal entrance, in the hope that one day he might be able to return to his home. But he isn't the only unseen elder on the continent. Regis mentioned that there are more unseen elders, each one varying in their behavior and how they are interacted with. The unseen elders make up what would be the leadership of the vampire clans. They are able, with single commands, to give any tasks to their subordinate vampires. However, it is not known whether the unseen elders interact with each other to discuss a vampire business or not. The Gorosham tribe's marking is that of a hand with an open palm, marked with drops of blood. It has been speculated that this insignia represents the willingness of the Gorosham tribe to assimilate with the culture of their new neighbors, those being the elves and humans. The Toudet tribe is more secretive, yet they have not gone as far as the Amaran tribe. The Toudet ventured east, presumably moving to Zerrikania and Haagland. There is no contact between the Toudet and the Gorosham tribes. Over the course of the centuries, they have developed very different cultures. We don't know if the vampires of the Toudet tribe have hidden themselves amidst Zerrikanians, or perhaps they've separated themselves from the humans, and have their own vampire-exclusive settlements and hideouts in the east. It could be possible that the Toudet went east in search of minerals, as the offering for the unseen elder is an aragonite crystal from Haagland. It could be that similar crystals appeared in the worlds of the vampires, and that perhaps it might remind them of their home. Their insignia is a hand, with the two outer fingers folded, holding a serpent, which has its tail coiled around the wrist of the hand. The meaning of the symbol remains unknown, and just as big of a mystery as the Toudet tribe itself. The last of the three vampire tribes is Amaran. They ventured west in search of new lands to settle on. To do this, they had to cross the Great Sea, and I wonder how they did this. I would assume they set out on ships, but they might have well just turned to mist and flown to the west. We actually don't even know if they ever found land. There is of course a continent to the west, which will be discovered by Nordlings around the end of the 13th century by Fabio Sachs. But whether the Amaran tribes actually also made it to this place, or maybe they drifted off to somewhere else, remains unknown. The insignia of the Amaran tribe is a hand holding a dagger, and it has been speculated that it might mean that it could be a more militant and hostile group of higher vampires. One that might not want to hide amongst humans, but instead rule over them. When it comes to the tribes, we've only ever encountered vampires from the Gorosham tribe, but maybe in the future, if the Witcher games ever make their way to Zerrikania, we possibly could get a glimpse of a different vampire culture. But what do you think of vampire tribes? Which one do you think sounds the most interesting? And how many unseen elder vampires are there out in the world? Till the next video. Bye.